What's up, you beautiful people? It's Harrison here, coming to you from the beautiful Boulder, Colorado on this snowy Saturday night. Bye.
That was really hot.
Aw. Okay, I'm leaving now.
Alright, what's up, you beautiful people? It's Harrison here, coming to you from the beautiful Boulder, Colorado on this lovely, snowy Saturday night. Tonight, I will be doing the rock and metal band tier list. Without further ado, I'm going to get started with 3 Days Grace. I think that 3 Days Grace makes some solid music. Adam is quite a talented vocalist, if I do say so myself. Some of their riffs are a bit simplistic, but all in all, it's great melodic music and it's very catchy. So, quite frankly, I am going to be putting 3 Days Grace in B tier. Next up, we got Five Finger Death Punch. Definitely, this is definitely some, child abuse rock, I like to call it. It's definitely the type of music that a bunch of angry divorced dads listen to on their day off, while they're day drinking and whatever. But I'm not gonna lie, they have some very good guitar solos, and some of their songs are kind of heavy. It's mainly the kind of fan base that I have a bit of a problem with, but that shouldn't be too representative of my tier ranking for this video. I'm personally going to put Five Finger Death Punch in C tier. AC/DC, very classic. They make great music. A lot of people think that just because their riffs are somewhat simplistic that, they, aren't as good as some of some of the technical death metal bands out there. It's not as good as Rings of Saturn or anything like that, but I really don't care about that. They were way too foundational of a band in terms of both musicality and stage presence in rock and metal for me to ignore on this list. They make great music, they're quite talented, and they put on a great show. So for that reason, AC/DC is going S tier. Aerosmith. Aerosmith made some really good songs. Steven Tyler is very talented, but he's also not the greatest person in the world. He's done some things that I don't, let's just say, particularly agree with. But they do make some good songs. I'm not gonna lie, I've seen them in concert and it was a pretty good show. So for that reason, I think Aerosmith is going to go on B tier. Yeah, B tier. Next up, we got Alice Cooper. He had a great stage presence. He had a really cool style, and like I said, he had great stage presence. He had a great sort of style about him, and his songs were pretty good. Some of them were a little basic for my taste, but all in all, some good musical ideas in there. For that reason, I'm gonna put Alice Cooper in C tier. Next up, Alice in Chains. Immediately S tier. Rest in peace, Lane Staley. GOAT. Jerry Cantrell is an excellent guitarist. I really enjoy Alice in Chains. They've made great contributions to music. Anthrax. Arguably a big four thrash metal band. I mean, they've made some really heavy stuff. They've written some great riffs. But there are other more talented bands in this list who I personally believe would be more deserving of a spot in the Big Four. Anyways, Anthrax is pretty good. I'm gonna put them up in B tier. Avenged Sevenfold. Oh, I know this is immediately going S tier. Rest in peace, The Rev, by the way. They've just made excellent, classically influenced metal music for years and years on end. Almost decades at this point. I mean, they're just very talented. I admire them quite a bit. The Beatles, their influence in the world of rock is undoubtable. But there are some songs that I just find a little too basic for my taste. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them in B tier as well. Black Sabbath, this was actually the first metal band that I ever listened to. I remember it was while my stepdad was driving me to school one morning. He threw on Paranoid by Black Sabbath, and it kind of changed my life forever. And so for that reason, they're going into S tier. Ozzy Osbourne is a GOAT. Black Label Society. Zakk Wylde is an excellent guitarist. But I don't know, they didn't write anything that really had like a, I feel like they're sometimes like their music takes guitar technicality and sort of lets it outshine the sort of catchiness of the song. So they don't really have too many great hooks. So for that reason, I'm gonna go B tier because Zakk Wylde is definitely extremely talented. He's a huge inspiration for me. Blink-182, they make very simple songs, but I'm not gonna lie, they're very catchy and they're very melodic. And Travis Barker has definitely maintained a very successful career in the music industry ever since they broke up, and now they've formed again and doing pretty well for themselves. I think they're very talented, and they were definitely foundational to the pop punk sound. It's very melodic, it's very catchy. Probably one of my favorite pop punk bands, quite frankly. But I'm thinking B tier for this too. Candlemass is great, doom metal. Probably my favorite doom metal band. Sorry, besides Black Sabbath. Not quite. Black Sabbath always holds that number one spot for me, but Candlemass is also pretty melodic too. I think that their vocalist has a very theatrical style that's very melodic and classically influenced, and I like it. For that reason, I'm gonna put them in. I think they're going A tier. They're freaking talented. Cheap Trick. Cheap Trick's pretty cool, I think. They definitely did the pop punk sound far before anybody else did it. They had a very melodic sound that was very ahead of its time, that also sounded pretty punk as well. I think they're really cool. Some of their songs I find a little repetitive and not particularly for my taste, but still they are quite good. I'm gonna go B tier with them. My Chemical Romance. All my emo kids out there, you know this has to go S tier. Definitely gotten me through some hard times. I don't know, Gerard Way just has a certain way about him, and he makes great music that was foundational for like a generation, and definitely made an impact. It's very melodic. They have great stage presence, great, they also don't take themselves too seriously. They did that whole Yo Gabba Gabba thing that I thought was freaking awesome. Cinderella, I don't know, quite frankly, I think they're pretty mid, especially when it comes to glam metal. There are many better kind of glam bands out there. I don't know, they just sort of slip. I'm pretty indifferent about them. I mean, like, their sound is pretty melodic and they have some decent guitar solos, but in my opinion, it's kind of mid, sometimes pretty repetitive, and it's not my favorite exactly. Next up, we have The Clash, very foundational to punk rock. I really enjoy them. They had a cool sound. I'm putting them in B tier. Very catchy, very, very ahead of its time. Very, I don't know, it's raw. I like it. Cream, I gotta say, Eric Clapton is a great guitarist. I think they make some really cool music. Eric Clapton is extremely talented and noteworthy. I'm gonna put them up in A tier. I really like Cream. They make some very psychedelic songs, but also very cool, musically technical songs with great guitar solos. Next up, we got Danzig, Crazy. I go pretty crazy for Danzig. I think their style is very dark and melodic, and it's really interesting. And it's very punk. I enjoy it. B tier. Next up, we have Death Angel. Pretty heavy. Not exactly my favorite, but still pretty heavy. I'm gonna go C tier with them. Next up, we got Death. Super slow and grungy, and it has kind of like a groovy sort of element to it. It's really awesome. It's really melodic. Vocals are insane. Death is going B tier. Deep Purple, I think Richie Blackmore is a very talented guitarist. Also, they invented like the song that everybody learns first on guitar. Like, I think this is I think that Deep Purple is gonna go A tier. Very foundational. Highway Star is also it's a song that's very ahead of its time. Def Leppard, easily one of my favorite glam metal acts. They write great ballads. Very talented people. Personally, I'm gonna go A tier with them as well. Dio, heavy as I think they're going S tier. Dragon Force, very melodic, very chaotic, but one thing I will say, some of their songs are just like, it's not the kind of music you like play with friends in the car, because like you don't want to make them sit through like a 15-minute Dragon Force epic. And it's not really like the best music to like just go to work or go to school to. But it's undoubted. It's indubitably one of the more talented bands. Just Herman Li is a freak of nature, quite frankly. So for that reason, I'm putting Dragon Force in a S tier. Yeah, they're freaking good. Dream Theater, I think they're going S tier too. John Petrucci, I use John Petrucci's signature pick every time that I go on stage, and there's something magical about it. I don't know. I think that he is an extremely talented individual and he deserves to be recognized. One thing I will say about them, similar thing with Dragon Force, some of their songs are a little bit too technical for just like a ride to work or school or with your friends in the car or whatever. Electric Wizard, super psychedelic, super like doom kind of sludge adjacent. I think they're heavy. I'm gonna go B tier. Skadoosh. Faith No More, an interesting interpretation of kind of like rap metal. I think that it's really cool music. It has a very interesting atmosphere to it, and I think it's definitely inspiring some of the rap metal that's being produced today. It's quite interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in B tier. Foo Fighters, they're going to S tier. Ghost, I think that their stage presence is quite cool, and their music is very atmospheric. I think they're excellent performers. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in B tier. Godsmack, definitely another divorced dad rock band, sort of. This is definitely like, yeah. I'm not gonna lie though, there's some Godsmack songs that are like pretty freaking heavy and actually have really cool melodies to them. So yeah, they have some pretty cool stuff going for them. They're going in, I think, B tier. Let's see. I'm going C tier. I'm sorry. Gojira, really cool. I think Gojira is going in A tier. Yeah, A tier. Just because, like, there are some parts of their songs that just sort of draw out for a little too long. It's definitely like a very spacey kind of experience. Like, yeah, it's definitely not like driving to work music or music that you show your friends who have never listened to metal before. Like, they're just gonna think that, like they're just like a whale band, and it's like, it's really hard to like explain like what the music is to people. So for that reason, I'm putting them in A tier. They're very talented. They have a very melodic sound, which I like. It can be very atmospheric, but also a little disorienting sometimes. Like, it's very psychedelic music in a certain way. Green Day, very foundational pop punk. I think some of their songs are great. Billy Joe Armstrong's a great dude. Quite frankly, man, I'm gonna put them up in S tier. They make very cool melodic pop punk, and I like it. Greta Van Fleet, I think they're going in A tier. I definitely think that Like there are some songs where it sounds like they're kind of copying Led Zeppelin, but also same thing as they're giving it a modern twist. It's not like they're just like copying their songs note for note. Like they have a sound and they stick to it, and I think it's a very cool sound to be bringing back. I like it, so they're gonna go in A tier. Guns N' Roses, Slash is a freaking icon. I have his Funko Pop sitting on my desk as we speak. I'm going to go S tier. Guar, I think their stage presence is definitely something to be admired. They give an excellent performance, and their music's freaking heavy. I'm going to go B tier with B tier. Hailstorm, really cool melodic music. I think I'm gonna go B tier with them as well. Incubus, this is music that was definitely pretty ahead of its time. It's very innovative music. It has a very spacey quality to it. I think they're gonna go B tier as well. Jimi Hendrix, that's going S tier easily. Judas Priest. I think Rob Halford is freaking awesome, and their support of the LGBTQ plus community is very admirable. I like it a lot. I think they're going S tier. They're too freaking heavy. Kiss, I think that they've made some very foundational songs, but they're also, I think, a little greedy. It's not enough to, I don't know. They've definitely kind of taken a sort of like Kiss is definitely it's very like, I don't know, some of their music is too commercial in my opinion. I'm not gonna lie, it's sometimes too repetitive, but they have a couple of really cool guitar solos, and their inspiration of the rock and metal community in terms of both fashion, in terms of musicality, is undeniable. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them up in A tier. Korn, I think that Korn is a very interesting band. I definitely think that they made a very innovative approach to rap metal when it first came out in the late 90s. And also, Daddy is a very touching song. I think that it's a song that resonates heavily with a lot of people. I think it's very raw and it's very real, and I respect it a lot. For that reason, I'm going to go ahead and put them in A tier. Limp Bizkit S tier, easily. Limp Bizkit is amazing. Fred Durst is just my idol. Like, that guy like doesn't care. I respect it so much. Linkin Park, also S tier. They're definitely kind of given a bad rap for their, like, I don't know, like, people sometimes think that Linkin Park is like douchebag music or whatever. Like, but I gotta say, like, Chester Bennington's story is, I don't know, it's very touching to me, and it really it's a very inspirational story. It's a very sad story, and he was doing something that like so many people were afraid to do back then, and he did it very well. Marilyn Manson, oh man, I think he was pretty inspirational when it comes to like the goth community, but he ain't a good guy, if you haven't found out. Like a really not good guy. Like the type of actions that I can't exactly ignore. So for that reason, I'm gonna go ahead and put him in C tier. I've never liked his music enough to excuse the transgressions that he has made in his life. Mastodon, super technical, very heavy. I've always looked forward to Mastodon's releases, and it's very technical. It's great music, and they don't even take themselves very seriously, and it's so freaking funny, and I respect it. So they're easily an S tier. Metallica, S tier. Probably like the second band I ever listened to, and my favorite band to this day. I was like 9 years old, and I found it on my stepdad's iPod, and like my life was changed forever. Morbid Angel is so heavy. I'm gonna edit that out, just for YouTube's reasons. I don't know. I can't really contain it. Morbid Angel is really heavy. It's, in my opinion, I think it's like what Slayer kind of tries to be sometimes, because their solos are chaotic but also melodic at the same time. I think it's super heavy. I'm putting them in A tier. Motionless in White, excellent, great metalcore. I think that Chris Motionless is an excellent vocalist. He uses a melodic style, and his high screams are freaking awesome. I really like their new stuff too, so they have longevity as well. Sorry about that. Motley Crue, okay. They make really cool and catchy songs with great guitar solos, great vocals. Some of their views on women I'm not exactly terribly fond of. I think Motley Crue is going B tier. I think sometimes they're pretty overrated in my opinion. Motorhead, Rip Lemmy, rest in peace Lemmy. Excellent music. I think Motorhead is going I'm gonna put him in A tier. Municipal Waste, great kind of crossover thrash sort of music. It's super fast, it's super chaotic. I really like it. The vocals are really gritty. Municipal Waste is going B tier. Muse, very spacey, very avant-garde, very neoclassical at the same time. I think it's beautifully composed music. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in A tier. Nine Inch Nails, very foundational to like the industrial scene. Very cool music. Trent Reznor is awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in A tier. Yeah. Nirvana, S tier, easily. Rest in peace, Kurt Cobain. There's too much for me to say about Nirvana, so I'm just not gonna include that if I don't want this video to be like a day long. The Offspring, great pop punk. I really like it. I'm gonna go ahead and throw them in B tier. Blue Oyster Cult, very interesting. I own one of their vinyls. A tier. Ozzy Osbourne, S tier. I like anything that guy does. Like, you could lock me in a room and throw on nothing but the Osbournes, and I would just be like, I wouldn't leave. Pantera, they make really heavy music, but also they're tad racist. Rest in peace, Dimebag. He was very talented. Their views are not my favorite, however. I'm going B tier. Papa Roach. Pretty cool music. They kind of fell off, I'm not gonna lie though. Their new stuff isn't my favorite. But Last Resort's a great song, and their older work is pretty nice. So I'm gonna put them in B tier as well. Pearl Jam, great grunge band. Yeah, great grunge band. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in A tier. Pink Floyd, super, like, I gotta say, like, it's beautiful music. Like, it's very disorienting in a way, and it's like, it's sort of like, it's a very psychedelic experience to listen to their music. David Gilmour is a very interesting guitarist. Definitely one of my inspirations in many ways. But sometimes, like, their songs are a little bit too out there. Sometimes, like, it's definitely not driving to school, driving to work music, or driving with friends music, because it's like 15 minutes of just like guitar solos, and then, like, you know, they start ranting about the government a little bit, and then, you know, it's definitely music for a certain state of mind. Let's just leave it at that. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in A tier. Poison, pretty basic glam in my opinion. Nothing to terribly write home about. Nothing to, like, really write home about in my opinion. Bret Michaels is a decent vocalist, but there are definitely better glam bands out there. I'm gonna put them in C tier. Pop Evil, pretty interesting. Not exactly one of my favorites. I think Pop Evil's gonna go D tier. Queen, legendary. Theatrical. I think that, oh man, like, first of all, Brian May's contributions to the field of astrophysics, I believe, is very admirable. They're very smart people, and also Freddie Mercury's contributions to the LGBTQ plus community are very admirable as well. Quiet Riot, very cool. I think they're kind of overlooked in many ways. I think that their guitar work is definitely admirable. I don't think they really just had enough time together as a band, so I'm gonna go with B tier. Rainbow, I feel as though Ronnie James Dio undersells himself in this project. However, Richie Blackmore is very talented here. I'm gonna go B tier with them as well. Ramones, pretty foundational to punk rock music. Pretty basic song structures. No real, like, technicality in their music, but certainly foundational. I'm going to put him in B tier. Rat, also a pretty mid glam metal band. They have a couple of interesting solos. That's really it. I'm going to put them in C tier. REM, really cool. Great songwriting. It's very melancholic. It's very kind of haunting. And it's very gothic in a way, and I really think it's good music. I'm going to go ahead and put them in A tier. Red Hot Chili Peppers, very interesting. Definitely going A tier. They really fused rock and rap in a very interesting way as well. Rise Against, since I'm from Colorado, I'm definitely putting them in A tier. Definitely have some great memories of Rise Against. And they're also, they also do a lot of work in Colorado, which is where I'm from, so represent. Rob Zombie, very cool music, also great films. He's a very cool guy. I think he's very artistically talented in both the genres of music and in both the mediums of music and film. Really cool stuff. Rolling Stones. Let's see. I'm gonna go A tier with them. Better than the Beatles in my opinion. Definitely a much more aggressive sound and sort of image that they had. I sort of like it a lot. Scorpions, great vocals, great guitar solos, great German metal. I really like a lot of their songs. They make great ballads. I'm gonna go B tier. C there, this is definitely some divorced dad rock if you ask me. They have some pretty cool songs though. They have songs that are very reminiscent of grunge. And I think it's pretty good music. Sometimes the vocals can get on my nerves a little bit, but they do have some very kind of grunge reminiscent songs that I like. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in B tier. Sepultura, really cool groovy music. It has kind of like a sludgy element to it. I like it a lot. Let's see. Quite frankly, I'm moving C. They're down to C tier. Sepultura is going up there in B tier. Sex Pistols, very it's truly tragic story. What happened between Sid and Nancy. They were very foundational figureheads of British punk music. Sometimes the vocals get on my nerves, but their influence is undeniable. For that reason, I'm gonna go ahead and put them in B tier. Next up, we have Shinedown, some divorced dad rock metal again, but a little more wholesome. This is like, it has a much more melodic and acoustic element to it. Kind of like it. Sometimes it's kind of fun to like crack open a beer after a long day of work and just like listen to some Shinedown. Really gets you right. But I'm gonna go ahead and put them in C tier. They're kind of like on the par with Cedar. 6 a.m. Definitely cool music. Nikki Sixx's second project, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's cool. Nothing like chart topping or really catching, in my opinion, however. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them in B tier. Skid Row, I love 18 in Life. I love Youth Gone Wild. I think they're definitely on par with Motley Crue. I think that Skid Row is kind of underrated in comparison to Motley Crue. Skillet's definitely some like angry, like divorced dad rock. Like you just sort of like hear some Skillet and you kind of think like, there's 2 Christmases at that household. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Monster's kind of a cool song, but I'm going D tier. It's not really my favorite music. Slayer, freaking heavy. Undeniably just like super heavy. Great thrash metal. Occasionally though, like their guitar solos can be very chaotic, like, and you know, at the cost of melody, at the price of melody. So like it'll be very chaotic and almost random sounding guitar solos that aren't very musically pleasing in my opinion, but super heavy. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them B tier. Slipknot, the Slippy Doodles, Slapnuts. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in B tier. Very heavy, great, kind of super heavy. Corey Taylor's vocals are unmatched. I've never heard anybody scream or sing like him in the metal scene. It's heavy, it's inspired by many genres. I think it's very groundbreaking music. Smashing Pumpkins. I think that Billy Corgan's written some beautiful music. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in A tier. Soundgarden, sort of mid when it comes to grunge in my opinion. I did have a Soundgarden CD growing up. That's going in B tier. Stone Sour, Corey Taylor's second project. Not quite on par with Slipknot. C tier. Stone Temple Pilots. Definitely really cool grunge. Very melancholic. Very dark. Very kind of a bitter and like grungy sound. I don't know how else to describe it. They have some really cool guitar solos. They have some really cool ballads. I think they have great versatility. So for that reason, I'm putting them in A tier. Sum 41. Sum 41 is great pop punk. Sort of basic, sometimes kind of repetitive, but very good music nonetheless. They're going in C tier. System of a Down, S tier easily. Some of the most exotic, theatrical, borderline like insane music I've ever heard, yet it conveys such a subliminal and intellectual social commentary while also being very heavy and very technical, beyond the scope of many people's comprehension. It's just amazing music, and it's heavily inspired by many Armenian folk songs, which I think is quite brilliant. Talking Heads are very poppy, but I think they make some pretty cool new wave music. I'm gonna put them in B tier. Tenacious D, fucking, I'm gonna have to do some bleeping in this video, but Talking Heads make some pretty cool, like, new wave sounding music that I kind of like. I'm gonna put them in B tier. Sometimes their songs are a bit commercial and a bit repetitive, but Tenacious D is freaking funny. Jack Black is hilarious. I'm putting them in B tier. Testament, great thrash metal. I am going to put Testament in B tier. Tool is definitely S tier, easily. Just some of the most musically complex stuff that I've really ever heard. It's mind-blowing, the amount of intellect that goes into a Tool song. Trivium, very heavy, great metalcore. I think Trivium's going in A tier. I went to go see them with Lamb of God and Megadeth, and it was freaking heavy. It was an excellent show. So I have a personal connection with Trivium. So for that reason, they're going in A tier. Yay. Eek. There we go. Next up, we have Twisted Sister. Pretty basic. Quite frankly, I'm gonna go ahead and put them in D tier. Their songs are just too repetitive for me. And you know what? I think Skillet's gonna get F tier. Yeah, because I don't have anything in the F tier yet, and I don't know. Yeah, Skillet's going in F tier. Van Halen, easily S tier. Just S tier. These tiers are getting big. Volbeat, really cool melodic music. Great Swedish metal. The Devil's Bleeding Crown is a great song. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in B tier. Weezer, pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in C tier. The White Stripes, very good music. I think that Jack White is pretty cool. The way that he makes his own guitars using bottles of Coke, it's very interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in B tier. White Zombie, pretty cool music, just not developed enough of a project. I'm putting them in C tier. The Who, pretty cool, very influential when it comes to punk rock. I'm putting them in B tier. Led Zeppelin is going S tier. It's gonna be a climb. Led Zeppelin in S tier, very talented. And then finally ZZ Top. They wrote a song called LaGrange, which is a town in Texas where I'm from, so that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm not from the town, but I am from Texas. ZZ Top has some great guitar solos, but quite frankly, kind of has a rockabilly sound to it that I'm just personally not a fan of. I think they're very talented, like, undoubtedly. no matter what genre of music you listen to, I can agree that their guitar work takes a lot of talent. So I'm going to put them in B tier. That's it. This has been the rock and metal band tier list. That was a lot to get through. It's been a 50-minute video. I'm going to go ahead and save this, download it, and hopefully put it on the screen for you guys to see at the end of the video in all its glory. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.